Well, hello everyone. How are you doing today on March 13th, 2026? Happy Friday the 13th, everybody out there. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I know I am. So, guys, let's talk about a few things before we get started. Okay, so welcome to my third podcast of Hola America. I want to say I appreciate you giving me your time today. I try to go for about 45 minutes. I don't want to go too long because I don't want to lose anybody. I can get long winded. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of keep it short and sweet. Today, I want to go over some live stuff on X. I tried to share my screen and it's asking me to get permission. I think I have to have premium to be streaming the X. So I'll have to bump up to premium, pay for that in order to be able to share my X account with you guys. Okay, but I digress. The main thing is I want to talk to you about some news that's going on today, some things that have been happening in the news that I'm going to debunk as lies, and just a lot of poo-poo. Easy way to say it. First off, housekeeping issues. You hear the train coming. That's the second one in 15 minutes. 2 dogs. Free range. She left. My hair and makeup and director left. I'm on my own. Technician's not feeling good. She's sick today. So it's just me today. That's it. And you're going to hear dogs barking, toys squeaking, dogs whining, trains, loud vehicles coming through here. I don't have a nice fancy soundproof studio yet. Maybe someday if I grow my channel. So appreciate you coming to Hola America. I would appreciate it if you go to Rumble, which is free to join Rumble, rumble.com. I'm at Hola America 65 on Rumble. Free to join. If you like, please subscribe to my channel and grow it to help the algorithms. Then like it and then share it with somebody that you think might enjoy it or somebody you think I need to red pill, because I do that. I red pill everybody for free. There's no blue pills here. I take your blue pill, I give you a red pill. I take your black pill, I give you a red pill. That's just the way it is. Like it says here, where I give you nothing but the truth with Ruth. Okay? So we're going to go over some things next I want to talk about. And we're going to have a good time. It's Friday evening. Beautiful outside. Hope you enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy mine. So let's get started, shall we? So first thing I want to get off my chest is this Katherine Heigl bullcockery. I call it bullcockery. Of her going to Mar-a-Lago for a dog charity event, and she's getting shamed from Hollywood and the left. Now, I think that's some bullshit. Yes, I said it. Bullshit. She can do what she wants to do. She said animals don't vote. Okay? This is for a good cause. You know I love dogs. She loves dogs so much she made a food line, a healthy food line for her own dogs to live longer. That's how much she loves dogs. It's a charity. What are you worried about? She wasn't over there making out with Don Juan. They weren't in the kitchen pantry making out. They were there for an event. They probably even crossed paths. It's so big, he probably was either out golfing or with his family somewhere, or hell, he may have been in Washington, D.C. or flying. He may have been in Kentucky that day. I'm not sure. Kentucky, Ohio. But don't blame the girl because she wants to have a charity event. That's ridiculous. This cancel culture has to stop. And it started with who? Joseph Robinette Biden, because they had all the power. And they were going to censor us. And they were going to take away our guns. And they're trying right now with what's going on with all these attacks that they're blaming Trump for. When did these people come in? Under Biden. The one at Old Dominion, that man that was with the National Guard, he was put in prison in 2017. He was released in 2024. Instead of Joe sending him back to Sao Paulo or wherever he's from, they let him stay in the States. And look what happened yesterday. Luckily, it was thwarted. But a lot of these people committing these crimes were bought in under Biden and never sent back under Biden. And that's why ICE is trying to send them back. But the Democrats will not pass any kind of funding for DHS, which affects TSA. So don't blame us for long lines at the airport. Don't blame us for not having safe airports and unsafe skies and unsafe borders and unsafe cities, because your political party is the one holding us hostage. Just like it was when the government shutdown was, and they wanted health care for the illegal aliens. Oh, no, they didn't. Yes, they did. They did. And they waited, 45, 47 days before they came to the table? They're doing it again by holding DHS and TSA hostage. And it's not right. But you're still going to vote for them because you're so zombified, you don't know any better. And that's a damn shame that you can't think for yourself, that you have to go to lamestream media for them to tell you what to think, how to act, and what to say. And that's a damn shame that you don't have enough balls to make your own decisions and live your own life the way you want to and make your own choices. That's just ridiculous. But the violence right now is being blamed on Trump. It's Trump's fault for all these attacks in the country because of the attacks on Iran. No. Joe opened the border for 4 straight years and let these people in. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Do you think all those military-aged men came in because they were oppressed and scared? I told you that the other day. They're not. They weren't. They were brought in for this reason. They were recruited in for this reason, to be put into camps somewhere in the vast yonder in the woods, hidden in the forest, training for this very moment in time, to wait for the signal to freak out. And like most attacks, they don't spend a lot of time on these because they're happening in such rapid succession that they don't have time to go back and talk to a victim, or talk to a teacher, or talk to someone in the synagogues or the police station or witnesses. And goes, I'll be damned if we're not having multiple times a day, because they're being told where to go. People, wake up. Smell the freaking coffee. They're being told what to do. I'm going to do, tomorrow, I'm going to do my due diligence of studying. And I want to do a 2-part series starting Sunday regarding mass shootings in the last 10 years, what they have in common, their religion, and or their sexual preference, and medications. I want to talk about all that. MK Ultra mind control, psychosis drugs put together creates a psychotic monster that wants a gun or a knife. I want to talk about the past before Austin, starting with Thomas Gray and going backwards to Colt Gray to Thomas Crooks and going backward that way. Talk about all of them, okay? And I'm going to, it's going to stink to high heaven, but it's going to be a 2-part series, okay? It's all going to go together, and I'm going to blow your mind when I tie all of them together, what they have in common, okay? But I'm not going to do it now. But I can tell you right now, with this 100% passion in my heart, this is not Trump's fault. And then Virginia, I want to say, not the governor, but maybe the attorney general came out and said it's the gun's fault, not the people using the gun. Well, bitch, the gun has to be, trigger's got to be pulled. Pow, 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 pow. Somebody's got to pull it. Somebody's got to give them the gun. The gun's not going to get up, walk on its own and go shoot people. So where do you come off saying it's the gun's fault and not wanting to place blame on these foreigners that are doing this? That doesn't make any sense. You guys have what my mom calls no sesos. That means no brain. You have no brain. Hello? Are you in there? Where do you get this shit from? I don't know where you get this shit from, but it's got to stop. At some point, you've got to wake up and smell the coffee, like I said. Deranged. Your Trump derangement syndrome has gotten so bad that you can't see anything clear anymore. It's all just orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad. I don't get you. I really don't. So don't blame Trump. Blame Joe for letting the people in. He went into Iran to liberate it. I thought it was going to be short and sweet because we're kicking ass. Today is the heaviest day of attacks. B-2 bombers, B-1 bombers, B-1 bombers are going in and just obliterating the hell out of Iran. I don't know what there's left to hit. It's mostly desert. But I don't know. I'm not going to be on board with troops on the ground. I'm not. I'll be the first to tell you that. So since I can't share my X page on the screen, I'm going to go to my bookmarks here, and I want to speak about some of this stuff that's happened. So the Kamani man is dead. I don't know if you've seen the cardboard cutout. I think that's all AI. When he was coronated, it was a picture. It wasn't a cardboard cutout. I think that was Trump being funny, just to mock him, like a mean meme. So here's some breaking news. Erica Kirk is under investigation. Her appointment to the Air Force Academy Board dropped her directly into the crosshairs of multiple active federal probes. Her appointment to the Air Force Academy Board of Visitors places her inside an institution currently under multiple major ongoing federal investigations, including AFOSI and FBI counterintelligence cases. So, this is a big cheating scandal, and she will not be appointed because there's too much going on and they don't have any room for her. She was appointed to continue Charlie's legacy. But let me tell you something about her. She is not Charlie Kirk's wife. She's not Charlie Kirk. That'll be another series I'll have to do. If you're not watching Candace Owen on YouTube and Rumble, you need to watch her, and you need to watch The Bride. She's done a 6-part series on Erica Kirk, and she has accused Erica of being the one that was involved in unaliving the man. Now, I conspiracy theorist, I do not believe that he is gone, because you can't have an AR-36 or a bullet. You can't have a bullet that big. AR-36, something like that. It's like a 4-inch bullet. Go through your neck here, put a little hole, and not blow the back of your head out. They showed what it can do. It can go through 3.5 cinder blocks, 8 by 16. 3.5. But they said Charlie's spine stopped the bullet because he was Superman, made of steel. Bullshit. Something's fishy about that whole ordeal. There was no EMT there. They put him in a vehicle. They said as he was leaving, he was kicking the door trying to get out. There was no blood trail from when they carried him out to there. If you hit the carotid, it's spewing out with your heart. And then once your heart stops, so they said it stopped like within seconds when he was on the ground, it's not pumping anymore. But it's still leaking. You've still got your body full of blood. There wasn't a trail of blood to the vehicle. And then the very next day, they didn't do security tape around it, caution tape for an investigation. There was several guys that slid across the table, pulled all the cameras down, and they cemented over the area, and they totally redid it within a matter of several weeks. Don't you find that suspicious? I find that suspicious. Do you find that suspicious, honey? Honey finds that suspicious. Oh, you know what? He's not here. I need to bring Freedom. I have an American Eagle. I need to bring him in here. His name's Freedom. He'll make an appearance once in a while. That's Freedom's granddaddy. So I find this suspicious. But anyway, she's being accused of being part of Israel, which Israel's got their hands in everything, and that's going to be a fourth one I've got to do. I'm going to educate the hell out of y'all. Israel's been involved since Kennedy. Okay? Kennedy, USS Cole. 1993 tower attack. 2001 tower attack. October 7th. Yes, October 7th. Save Israel for last. Because I told you in my last podcast, they are the Zionists, the Jesuits. They're not the real Jews. They're not the Jesus Jews. They're bad. And they need to be dismantled as soon as we're finished with Iran. Let Marco and Pete Hegseth handle Cuba, and Trump's going to get involved with getting rid of Bibi. Which, right after Charlie Kirk was unalived, within an hour, Bibi came out and made a statement that we had nothing involved to do with him. We were not involved in anything having to do with Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk was denouncing Israel and the support of Israel, and he was pushing away all the donors of Israel. That week, he had lost 2 major donors over $10 million. And a few weeks before the event on September 10th of last year, he said he felt like it was going to happen to him. He had a bad feeling. He had a premonition. And his wife was involved in it. And I'm going to prove it to you. Isn't it funny that when they had his service in Arizona at the Cardinals Stadium, isn't it funny they got that together within 2 weeks? That big of an event? Oh no, people. They reserved it in March of 2025 for an event. What? Yeah, TPUSA and Erica Kirk had it reserved in March of last year, and Charlie was sent away in September of last year. 6 months before the event, they rented the entire stadium out for that event. And it was all pomp and circumstance. You find that suspicious? I find that suspicious. But I'll get on that, okay? I'm going to work hard for y'all, okay? I'm going to work hard for y'all. I really am, because I want to tell you guys the truth. This is going to be posted on social media by me. 20 CIA and FBI agents confirm Obama and ex-CIA director fabricated Russia hoax hidden in CIA vault for 10 years to undermine Trump's election via manipulated intel. By Tulsi Gabbard.
Of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. A month after Trump beat Hillary, Barack Obama wasn't satisfied with his intelligence reporting. And
so did you hear that? It was a hoax. Director of Cuba. I'm not going to let you listen.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people.
So we've known all along it was Obama and Hillary and Brennan and Clapper and Comey and 46 others. Remember, 51 officials signed that document when he was campaigning against Joe. I'm sorry, baby, you don't feel good. And when he was at the debate, he had the little paper saying, I got my 51 signatures here from all these officials. Well, do you know every one of them signed that, knowing that the laptop was real? Not fake, it was real. They all need to be court-martialed. That's just me. I don't know what your opinion is, but I think they need to be court-martialed. They all do. They all need to be held for treason, because that ain't cool. It's not cool. So people are saying that voter ID is going to hurt, right? That women aren't going to be able to vote because when they get married, their name's different. Duh. Your driver's license, you change your name on your driver's license, you can still vote. That minorities can't vote because we're not smart enough to get a voter ID. So we're not going to be able to vote. You're discriminating against minorities. No. Listen to this guy here on CNN saying how many people support voter ID.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of Black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
So, did you get that?
This is in Virginia, and this is Old Dominion.
That's Old Dominion. We'll talk about that here in a second. Okay? So, the Democrats just don't want ICE right now because they don't want them on polling centers because they're going to turn away the illegals. And they don't want voter ID because I told you yesterday as well in the podcast, which was this morning, that the only states Kamala won were the blue states where they didn't require voter ID. Had they had required voter ID across all 50 states, Trump would have swept the country most likely. He might not have gotten Washington, D.C. Maybe Washington State. Maybe Washington State either. But I think he would have got all those states. He would have definitely got California. California's red, people. It has been for a long time. But we need to pass Save America Act. John Thune needs to kick his ass to the curb. Bring in J.D. Vance to be the leader. Let J.D. Vance handle it. And be done. After he and Hegseth go over there and take care of Iran. Pass the Save America Act. Make voter ID legal. And let's have free and fair elections. Which I want to talk about that in a second too. So this Old Dominion shooter that we had yesterday, right?
He gathered
Hold on a second. I got a problem with him. I talked about how he was captured in 2017, released in 2024. Let's stay here. And he went pew-pew crazy, right? The synagogue person, I don't know much about. I can't tell you about the synagogue person. I don't know if he was taken out. But I can tell you, and I think I told this you guys yesterday, there's going to be a lot of events going on because they want to make Trump look bad ahead of the midterms. They want to turn his base. And for those of them out there saying that he's lost 20 million of his base, maybe a few million, but not 20. Not 20. We are too staunch and too hard-headed not to be a supporter of Trump. We've been through hell with him. We've been through everything imaginable with that man. We've seen him and his family be drugged through mud. And convicted and ran through court cases that never added to anything. He's not in jail. But they still come after him. They still got the TDS. And I told you, they all loved him before he was president. But now they don't like him because he's not a politician. He's a man of the people. And they don't want that. They don't want elected officials to be for the people. They want them to be for themselves. Be evil. Take money. Be crooked. That's not Trump. Now, have you guys ever heard of Mike Benz? Mike Benz is a big truther. And he's talking here about, hold on a second. Do y'all know George Soros? Have you heard of that name, George and Alex Soros? You know, the man that's looks like Jabba the Hutt, all these wrinkles, like an old man. Hates America to his core. Hates Trump. He started all this liberal crap in our country by infiltrating small towns and starting at sheriffs, school board members, principals, teachers, DAs, judges, attorneys general, all that, okay? So Mike Benz is going to talk about this here right now of how Mr. George Soros is doing all this crap.
It's like working with a friendly, allied, independent entity, if not a government. We try to synchronize our approach to foreign policy with Germany, France, Great Britain, and George Soros. The magic sauce. And of course, Soros then turns around and is the #1 political donor. And so I began this task, and I'll start the story here. So I began this exercise by seeing all this stuff in 1973. 1973, 1974, 1975. You see, the entire first page is before 1979. So I skipped over it at first. I thought, oh, that must be a mistake.
50 years.
It's got to be a different Soros. So I
Same one.
started, because again, this leaves out the 1980s and 1990s. So I really started my review at first from 2003 to 2010. And I'll show you some crazy shit. But then
he goes on and on and on. So in 1973 till now, he has been infiltrating all these small entities, small towns, then went to big cities and started infiltrating there. And he grew his base to where now we have liberal judges, we have liberal school boards, we have liberal teachers and professors, we have liberal sheriffs, we have liberal DAs, we have liberal attorney generals. Anybody in high power in office, most likely, was a Soros plant. He paid for it. He's like a trillionaire. He pays for all the Antifa and all the protests. The Free Palestine protests paid for by him. The Antifa protests paid for by him. Black Lives Matter protests paid for by him. He pays everything for them to go out and cause havoc because he wants this country so bad to go down because, like I said many times before, it's the Blue Hope Diamond. And if they can take down America, then those 13 bloodlines can rule the world. But we're standing in their way. And I say that's too freaking bad. As of today, America exports just hit a record high, proof that America First agenda is delivering. He's cut the trade deficit in half. Last year at this same time, our trade deficit was $128 billion. Today, it's $54 billion. Tariffs work. Those of them that say they don't, they do. Period. I'm not going to talk about the voting machines. That'll have to be another story. Did you hear about the fifth witness that exonerated Trump?
Full hours of depositions. I would say we are possibly at the halfway point. It could last more than 4 hours, but he confirmed there were 5 clients that paid money to Epstein, and that was Les Wexner, Lynn Dubin, Steven Sinofsky, the Rothschilds, and Leon Black. We've already deposed Wexner, and we're going to be deposing Leon Black very soon. Mr. Khan testified under oath that, because the Democrats asked this question, that he had never seen any type of transaction to Trump or anyone in his family. That makes the 5th witness now that's testified under oath that they've never seen any involvement by Donald Trump or their family. That includes Khan, Bill Clinton, Wexner, Acosta, and Barr. So I know that's the obsession of a lot of the media with respect to the Epstein investigation, but I will again remind you, the investigation is about getting the truth to the American people, trying to figure out how the government failed, answer questions we all have. Was he an agent? Was our government involved in any type of cover-up in any way, shape, or form? And, finally, what can be done to prevent this from happening in the future?
So Epstein was Mossad, like Erica Kirk. Mossad is Israel. Epstein worked for Bibi. Epstein was bribing and getting money and working with Bibi. So here's another Israel Mossad asset. Okay? I'm telling you, all roads lead to Israel. We're going to save them for last and take them down because they need to be taken down. They're an evil entity. And I am not saying that I don't care about Jews, because I do. I do. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not. I believe in Israel. I believe in the Jews. Just so you know, nothing negative against them. But the ones that I'm talking about are not the Jesus Jews. They're like I said, the Zionists and the Khazarian Mafia and the Jesuits and all that stuff. They're the bad Israelis, not the real ones. They're not. They're fake, like fake news. Okay. I don't know if anything else that's on here that you might be interested in today. Hillary Clinton's emails on her laptop. They're still going up their backsides with the emails on Hillary's laptop and Anthony Weiner's laptop, which has more evidence against Hillary than her own laptop. And if you remember, Anthony Weiner was the husband of Huma Abedin. Remember, he was the guy that sent the naughty picture to the underage girl and got kicked out of the Senate. That Anthony Weiner, freakazoid. Yeah, that's him. Here's something I read yesterday about President Trump, and I want to finish ending on that. I got another 15 more minutes of wind, I guess, on how people don't know the real Donald Trump, and they need to learn who the real Donald Trump is. They need to stop listening to mainstream media, and they need to read books. Pick his book up and read it. Look at articles from back in the 70s and 80s when he talked about this country being owned by the UN and NATO and Russia and China. And he wasn't wrong. But this is from a Secret Service agent that's been protecting Trump since day one. He says, Trump has ruined me. I can never protect another president after him. And before you think that's criticism, wait until you hear what I have to say. By ruined. Because my explanation about Trump is making the entire Secret Service agency emotional. Here's what I mean. Trump ruined me. The Secret Service agent has protected this agent. I have protected multiple presidents before Trump. He was trained professionally. I did my job perfectly. I protected each president the same way with discipline, distance, and duty. Then I got assigned to protect Trump, and everything changed. The agent explains, Trump ruined me for this job, not because he's difficult, but because he's the opposite. Trump knows my name. Every other president called me agent. Trump calls me by my own actual name. Trump knows my wife's name. He knows my children's name. He asks about my son's baseball games by name. Trump notices when I'm tired after staying 8 hours and says, sit down, you need rest. Trump orders extra food during long days, making sure my guys eat first. Trump attended the funeral of my father when he passed. No cameras, no press, just came to honor the man who raised the agent protecting him. After experiencing this, how can I go back being called agent by a future president? After Trump remembered my kids' names, how can I protect someone who won't even learn my name? After Trump treated me like family, how can I go back to being treated like furniture? Trump ruined me. He raised the bar so high for how presidents should treat Secret Service agents that I can never accept the old standard again. That's what I mean by ruined. Here's what this confession proves. Trump didn't just earn Secret Service protection. He ruined them from protecting anyone else, because once you've been treated like family, you can't go back to being equipment. Drop and type. Trump ruined the standard. So that's President Trump in a nutshell. That's the man. Okay? So before he became the apprentice and he wore the suits and all that, he was just wear regular jeans and a shirt. He owned, the football team in Atlanta. He owned casinos in Jersey City. There are stories of him where a young girl was on a TV talk show, and her only wish, he was on The Apprentice, was that President Trump would speak to her and say her name on TV. So they contacted him. And he surprised her via Skype. And that little girl was probably 7, 8 years old. And she was floored. And she had cancer. And she was crying up a storm. And she was excited. Her mom was crying. Her dad was crying. And they started talking about her cancer. And it was incurable. And they couldn't afford to go across the country from New York to LA to get the treatments that she needed to possibly save her life. And when Trump heard that, he got them to California, to LA. He paid their tickets, first class, got them to LA, got them to the hospital, put them up in a hotel, and let that little girl get the treatment that she needed. And she was able to live a few years longer than what they predicted. She did succumb to it, but she had those few extra years because President Trump, at that time, it was just Citizen Trump, got them first class tickets from New York to LA, got them to the hospital, and put them up for room and board for as long as they needed to get her healthy again. That's Trump. That's the Trump you don't hear about. Another story, going home somewhere from an event, and they were coming into New York City, and there was a car on the side of the road with lights flashing, and it was jacked up. And he told the limo driver to stop. They stopped, they backed up, he gets out. It's a misty night, and he asked the man what's going on, and about that time, the wife came out. And Trump says, "Are you and your wife the only one?" She goes, "No, we got our 2 kids in the back." He goes, "Well, what's the matter?" She says, we can't get the lug nuts off my tire. So Trump tried it. The driver tried it. Couldn't get it off. So Trump said, "Okay, if you feel comfortable leaving your car here overnight, locking it up, getting your belongings, I will have my driver take you home. We'll get you home, make sure you're safe, and then I'll have somebody come get your car in the morning." They kind of said, "Well, it is Trump. It's his limousine. It says Trump 1 on the back of the Cadillac." The driver's like, "This is him. He's done this before." So they went ahead and they got in the limo. He took him home. Limo driver took him back to the tower. The next morning, they got a knock at the door, and there was a man standing there with a contract and a set of car keys. Gave them both to the father, said, "Here you go, courtesy of Donald John Trump." And he walked out there and looked, and it was a brand new car. Like the one they had, that was 10 years old, but it was a brand new one. Same kind, just updated. That's the kind of man Trump is. You don't hear that. You don't hear that he flies people across the country in his jet to go here and go there. Did you hear when he got people to take their own private planes, including his, to Afghanistan to pick up our 99 service dogs left behind in cages to starve? Did you hear about that? Oh, yeah. He sent his plane, and he got 2 other of his big donors with their big planes. They chartered, and they brought those service dogs home, back to their soldier. That's President Trump. The Trump that you see on TV, that's an act. That's the braggadocious, arrogant, bombastic guy. The guy who never shuts up about himself or what he's done. If he would just go do speeches and not get off the touting about his economy and the inflation and the tariffs and the low, the low job rates and the GDP, and stop talking about Joe Biden, it would be so much better. But he talks about the same crap every rally. It's been 8 freaking years. You can almost say it verbatim, by heart. He just needs to stop being so Donald Trump, answer a question in 2 sentences or less, and move on. But don't go 15 minutes into a question and you never answer it because you got to put in Biden, the GDP, your economy, how you solve peace, how you do this, how you do that. We know. We know. Just leave it alone. That irritates me. But he's a hell of a businessman, isn't he? He's a hell of a person. He's a good guy. He would do anything for you. He still goes out and shows his face in public. At Mar-a-Lago, he goes out into the dining room and shakes hands with people and eats out there in the dining room, knowing full well there's a target on his chest and his back. People are saying that they're scared of him going to China because in his first term, they had to take a emergency stop in Hawaii because fighter pilot jets had to take out a missile heading for Air Force One who was going to China or maybe Australia. And they had to make an emergency landing to get him protected undercover, underground in Oahu, and then make sure the coast is clear, then get more jets to escort him on to Australia. So there's been over 200 attempts in his life that, we haven't been told. We only know of the 3 from this last year from the campaign, the Butler, the Mar-a-Lago, and then the one at Coachella in LA. But it wasn't a gun, it was a guy with a huge knife that jumped the fence and got tackled by a MAGA supporter. Saw him, tackled him, and let the Secret Service take care of him. The windows at Mar-a-Lago are bulletproof. He's got an underground bunker, a skiff, if you will. He's always prepared. He's always a step ahead. But everybody's afraid of what is going to happen if he goes to China. God be with him. He's a God-fearing man. He's a God-loving man. He's a Christian man. And you don't see that very often in presidents. You don't. You don't hear him thanking God during a speech. You don't hear him doing a prayer before an event. You just don't. But he does. Which is why he got a lot of the evangelist support this last election. Why the Amish came out and voted for the first time ever in 2024. The Amish in their wagons came to vote for Trump in 2024. Tells you what kind of man he is. I'm just saying. Loves his family. Great dad. I don't know how he is as a husband, but she seems to love him, seems to love her. But it's infuriating how people just want to nag on him all the freaking time. And it's just not right. It's not. So anyway, guys, I've ranted long enough. So the next series coming up is going to be talking about mass shootings, along with part 2 of MK, mind control. I might mix both in together and do a 1 hour each series, 2-part series. Then we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Israel. Erica Kirk in Israel. Then I'd like to talk about Bohemian Grove and Kathy Robinson and that kind of sex trafficking bullcrap that our politicians do on the daily. And then we'll see. You know what? I have my little book here. Let me see what else I want to talk to you all about before I go. I had done it in my book here. Yep, the Bohemian Grove, election fraud, Israel, mind control, mass shooters. Okay, that's it. So last but not least, guys, I'm proud to announce that I now have a storefront on Spotify. It's Hola America merch, where I'll be selling 15 different styles of t-shirts in 6 different colors. White, black, graphite, red, royal blue, and denim. If there's a color, if you like, when I get it, I got to fill it up right now. I got to get all my graphics together and order all my shirts and all that. But it'll be sent. You go to Spotify, order it, and they make it and they ship it to you. Okay. It's going to take me a couple of days. It took me less than 30 minutes to build my storefront. It's that crazy. It took me less than 2 minutes to design my t-shirt the way I wanted because I knew exactly what I wanted. I just typed in Americana and I saw it. I was like, that's what I want. So Hola America merch on Shopify, not Spotify, Shopify. When I get those t-shirts downloaded, I will send out the link for you to shop if you guys want it. I'm going to have shirts celebrating 250 because we're going to be 250 years old, baby. It's all going to be Americana. If you want me to make something special for you, then at the very bottom here, you can email me at olaamerica65@outlook.com. So here's all my websites right here. Email me at olaamerica65@outlook.com. It's not podcast, it's .com. I'm on X at olaamerica65. I'm on Rumble at olaamerica. Ola America, not political podcast. And I'm on YouTube at Ola America. Okay? So if you want me, and I'm going up to sizes 2X. If you need a 3X or 4X, you can private message me, text me, private message me on Facebook with Messenger, or get with me on TikTok or on Instagram and let me know, hey, I need a black one and a 4X. And I can put it in my shop, let you know when it's ready, you can buy it and get shipped. So I haven't set my prices yet, okay? But 15 different styles I'm going to start off with. They're not going to be Trump shirts. They're going to be Americana shirts to celebrate our 4th of July. And then if that gets going, I can do coffee mugs. I can do canvas bags, mouse pads. I can just about anything on Shopify and Printify. So Printify is where I go and make the design. Shopify is where I sell it. Okay? So Ola America merch at Shopify. But I'll get in touch with you and let you guys know in the next few podcasts when it's going to go live. Okay? If you want to buy a shirt, I'm gonna be competitive. Okay, guys? So I want to thank you for almost 48 minutes of your time. I appreciate you spending time with me this afternoon listening to me. If you have any questions, you can email me or you can reach me on any of these social media platforms and I'll get back to you. Okay? I'll answer any questions you have. If there's something that you've heard and you want to make sure that it's true, then reach out to me. I'll tell you if it's true or not. Remember, I've been in this for 10 years. I've been following a lot behind the scenes, underground, a lot of inside stuff. I follow a lot of people that are Army Rangers, veterans of the military that were high up, 3, 4-star generals, admirals, commanders, Green Berets. I follow retired ones, and they've got the inside scoop on what's going on. So I heard that about the 2,500 troops going to Iran, possibly for a ground insurgents. I don't like that. But anyway, ask me. That's what I'm here for, to help educate. Okay, guys? So have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for watching me. I appreciate it. And if you like this, like, share, comment, and please subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Rumble. Okay? But help my algorithms. I've got to grow. I need help. But I appreciate you very much. Y'all have a wonderful evening and have a great weekend because I'll see you on Sunday. Happy Friday the 13th.